Chasing headlines in a very headline-sensitive market, never a good idea, especially when they're geopolitical and the overall market is under pressure. Guys, we're going to talk about defense stocks today and why it might not be the best idea to try and chase some gains that we've already seen in defense stocks. This was the headline this morning from CNN, or CNBC, I should say, but the Pentagon awarding $1.8 billion in brand new contracts to some of the big names in the group. Lockheed Martin, I should say, Northrop Grumman as well, benefiting from this. But this is a very headline-sensitive market. There we go. $1.8 billion in new contracts coming from the Pentagon to some of the big names in this group. Obviously, as I said, a very headline-sensitive market we're in. Why should we not look to capitalize from some of these gains?
Well, the reason you shouldn't look to necessarily capitalize, unless it means by selling on your gains, if you manage to catch any of this, is we've been building towards this potential event, right? Where it's like we've had the buildup of tensions, you've had sanctions to prevent any action from happening, you've had energy running higher, you've had some of these defense names running higher. Like look at Lockheed Martin, which quite frankly, for the better part of 2 years. Now, I know that, look, I understand you had the pandemic bottoms having it break, but if we look at how it rebounded after the pandemic lows, essentially it's been sitting in a 320 to 400-ish range for the better part of a year and a half to 2 years. And you were running upside, obviously being a bit of a defensive name, it was already making a move up, but you're running the upside, holding this consolidation, and all of a sudden you're exploding in a breakout, right? And this is a classic situation. You just get a contract, but these things tend to get sold off once people have sort of digested and calmed down after the news, and cooler heads will prevail. And you don't always want to be testing random highs. In this particular case, if you're buying Lockheed, you're getting it right in front of multi-year highs at the top end move of a recent breakout. Right and then on top of that, you're buying the most recent news, right? So people usually say buy the rumor and sell the news. Well, the rumor was that there could be an invasion. We've already gotten that, and then now you've got news of a new deal. Well, you'd be buying that, and you'd be taking it at the top in front of those highs, multi-year highs. So that's just a reason not to be chasing this now. Clearly, as the tensions are building up, when you put a position on here, well, you've got some cover, you've got some support, you've got your 200 period, your 50 period, you've got the consolidation level. That's before it breaks out. And that's why you look for things that are trading in a cluster to give you those opportunities. But at this point, you're just buying the top.
So a key, I have Northrop Grumman. It's the same thing. They're all really huge right now. This is about York space here, but I just want to bring this to attention. The very last note here, even with conservative backlog projections, we're well over 1 billion in backlog for satellites over the next few years. So it's kind of like regardless of what happens here, with Ukraine and Russia, it looks like these names, these aerospace defense names, and another name like Lockheed Martin continue to be put on watch. And I feel like it broke out, obviously, on these last couple days, but even before then, we've kind of broken out through 380, had some nice little dump outs, so I think 350 is a good spot. We'd always like to buy stock, never up here, always on a pullback. So for me, I think it's too late to buy them, just similar to what Neil was saying. But if we just get a little bit of a pullback back down to the 50-period moving average, I hate to say this, but China still has issues with maybe Taiwan, and we don't know what Russia's going to do. And I just feel like with some of the talk now, even Elon Musk with Starlink talked about throwing more satellites over Ukraine to help them out. So this is not going to stop. The talk is going to be here, and I believe that you can buy these defense names and just keep buying them on dips. Don't chase. If you like it today, put in 10, 20%. I feel like that's the environment that we're in right now, regardless of what you're trading. Don't go all in on headlines. Wait for things to settle down and make sure you get the right price.
It's very easy in a market where it seems like some days everything goes down to try and find what is moving higher in a headline-sensitive market. Very important to not chase gains and chase moves that have already happened. So patience is key, guys, in the defense sector.